Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Kottabos Space Program, where today we are having a look at the Archtagon Aerospace mod, which is being made by forum user Narkle. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a fun new series of lower tech parts, which are really geared towards the early stages of a career save file. And I really love this mod for that reason, as honestly, a big reason I never play career mode is I hate the early stage. I just end up sending up the same rocket over and over to just farm for science points until I can get more interesting things to build with. And this mod, is trying to help with that issue by giving you more options in the early game, and I really do like that. So let's jump right into the vehicle assembly building and have a look at what all it does add in. Now, considering it is geared towards the early game, I feel the Mark I command pod is appropriate for size comparison today, and let's zoom in and then turn on our janitor's closet mod filter and turn off the squad parts. There we go, and we'll start right up here with the C2 avionics apparatus. Now, this is the first of 3 unmanned command pods that we have here, and it is, kind of, small-ish, but also large at 0.7 tons. It is unmanned, of course. It has a built-in data transmitter, SAS. It does have its own science experiment of measuring ionizing radiation and a battery of 50 electric charge. And according to the description here, which I find amusing, it's, basically just a cone full of wires and a radiation detector. So, very Kerbal and very nice, and very, very well made. I actually do quite like the look of the modeling and texturing on this. A lot of good details there. Very, very cool indeed. And yes, that is the C2 avionics apparatus. Now, the next one that we have is the C5 spherical probe, which, the description swears it's not related to the Stay Putnik. You be the judge of that. But it is, of course, an unmanned command pod. Pretty lightweight, too, at only 0.1 tons. It does have a built-in data transmitter, a generator, and oddly, 2 batteries. It has one battery of 30 electric charge and another of 45, and you can see it here too if you right-click on the part. We have the 2 separate batteries there. I don't know why, but, oh well, more power is always a good thing. Let's actually chuck this thing off and then grab the last one, the D3 telemetry probe. There we are, and this one, again, unmanned command pod, built-in data transmitters, does have a generator, a radio science experiment, a battery of 12 electric charge, and then, of course, another second battery of 10. Again, I don't know why, but hey, I can live with it. It's, just a fun little telemetry probe. I guess probably more geared towards building yourself a sounding rocket, but nonetheless, still a very good piece, and with a lot of good detailing. I especially love down at the bottom here, where it has all the little D3 bits. You got all these nice little slats. Very, very cool. Alright, so let us zoom out now and sort of go down to fuel tanks, where we have the first one, which is quite a big tank, at C2 Kethanol tank here, which, there we go, does use a new resource of Kethanol at 360 and oxidizer of 440, and I actually quite like the idea of this because, of course, the first rockets we were sending into space were alcohol-based with their fuel, so, Kethanol here I think is very appropriate, and as you can see, it fits the 1.25 meter size, and is quite a nice little tank with a few little cool details here and there. Now, we also have 2 different gas containers here, one being the RC-14, which is a nice radial tank, which holds a 30 cold gas, and then the other here is the RC-15 pressure vessel holding 325 cold gas, and this is sort of the main, I guess you'd say, fuel for the RCS system that works in here, but also a fun engine. So down to the engine category, we have 3. The first being the main C2 liquid fuel engine, using that Kethanol and oxidizer to produce 160 kilonewtons of maximum thrust, with an engine ISP maxing at 225. And there is that baby right there. Another good, nice quality modeling part I do enjoy. We then, if we chuck that off, also do have a solid rocket motor, the D8, which if we pop that on, there we go, will produce 15 kilonewtons of thrust, so not a whole lot, and 260 ISP in vacuum. So, I mean, it's actually going to burn for a very, very long time, but it's just not going to do much at all. But hey, if you need that 15 kilonewtons, there you go. It is, again, though, very nicely made. Good detailing and texturing to it. I like all the details in the various models. Very, very nice. And then the last, if I, zoom back in after zooming out, is the RB8 Catalyst gas engine that does use that cold gas we were talking about earlier. This only produces a meager 1 kilonewton of thrust, but an engine ISP of 160. And so, yeah, again, not a whole lot of thrust, but it's going to go for a whole lot of time. And then down in command and control is where we come to the RCS port that also uses the cold gas thrusters there. Excellent. There we are. So let us zoom out and head back up to the top where we're going to remove this thing, as we have nothing in structural, but in coupling we do have the D2 pneumatic ejector, which is really geared towards usage with the telemetry probe here, as it fits perfectly. And yeah, it is of course just a decoupler, but I guess old school with pneumatic. And hey, that's always fun. Now we got nothing in payload, nothing in aerodynamics, nothing in ground, nothing in thermal. In electrical though, we do have the Easy E battery, which actually has a small generator and has, again, 2 batteries, one of 50 electric charge and one of 20. There we go, a lovely little power source. We then, in communication, have the LG2 hoop antenna, which of course is a data transmitter. There we go, a lovely little antennae. And then we have 2 lovely new science experiments. The first being the film scan imager, which, I mean, is a camera. So there you go, a nice take image science experiment. And then we have the micrometeor sensor, which conducts a micrometeorite analysis. And there it is right there. Just a lovely little thing. And then we are done with nothing in utility. So that is everything currently available in the Archtagon Aerospace. As I probably should have mentioned earlier, this is still a work in progress mod, so hopefully we'll see some more low-tech parts in the future. But for right now, I quite like what they do have already, and have been having a lot of fun launching these things. So let's actually just open up a really crappy rocket I made earlier, just to show off the engine, etc. So here we are, we've got one of those telemetry probes up top, and even though they're really low power, you know what, I just like solid rocket boosters on the edge of my spacecraft, so yay. Let us go and launch this, and this, as it stands, will not make it into space. Nowhere near that, in fact. But, you know what? It gets it pretty high, which I'm happy about. So let's launch in 3, 2, 1. And there we go. And we have a liftoff of our lovely little rocket here. And, yeah, overall, very cool parts. I like, again, that it adds additional low-tech things into the game, and that it adds more variety to that early game. And plus, like I said, with things like the Kethanol tank here, you know, it makes it feel a bit more like it should be in the real world, at least how we progressed by using alcohol as the main fuel source early on in our space program. So all in all, quite cool in my opinion. Now, actually, those solid rocket boosters are about to run out, producing, oh, such tiny amounts of thrust. But there they go! And our Kethanol engine still burning. Lovely. And finally, we have, we can decouple there. I don't know why I added that decoupler, but we have another one, because, of course, we can launch the probe. There we go. And, well, we might as well, you know, do radio science while we're here. Radio wave science from Kerbin's upper atmosphere. The radio waves are scrambled and make transmission difficult, but not impossible. There we go, a lovely little experiment, and let's just go to the tracking station and show off a satellite that I made with these parts earlier, because, I mean, come on, you're not just going to want to launch sounding rockets, you're going to try to get something into orbit, and here we have a lovely, basic little satellite. It's nothing too impressive, and doesn't move too extraordinarily well, even with the RCS ports. I probably should have put a couple of more on there. But it is just a lovely little satellite made of lower tech parts, and that is just fun. So yeah, I definitely think it's a fun addition to the game, and it has some cool possibilities. And of course, you know, fun new science experiments that we can enjoy, such as the curvature of Kerbin is very much visible when the camera is facing the horizon. Yeah, I'd say that's visible. Oh god, where's the other experiment? I've got it on here somewhere. But at least I think I did. Oh, did I forget to put the other one on? Oh, nope, there it is on the back end. Micrometeorite analysis. The sensor confirms the existence of micrometeorites. Either that or we just got hit by a decoupler bolt. Well, with Kottabos Space Program, you never know, but there we go. That is really all there is to the current Archtagon Aerospace mod, but hopefully we do see some more in the future. So if you'd like to check this out for yourself, and I would definitely suggest that you go and do that, you can take a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that is going to be it for today, folks. I hope you all have enjoyed and that you do come back for the next episode. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one. I'm just gonna spin this around for a while for some strange reason. Later, folks!